begin this course, we will talk about how to install Matplotlib. The command to install Matplotlib is the pip command, which is a Python manager to install several different Python libraries. In this case, we are going to use it to install Matplotlib. As you see here, we have the command pip install Matplotlib, but the reason why we have the bang here is because we are running this from Jupyter Notebook. If perhaps this was being run from a command line, we don't need to add the bang. After installing, we can then import Matplotlib in this manner. So we import it by doing import matplotlib.pyplot, and we create an alias, plt. The reason why we are creating an alias is so that every time that we need to use matplotlib pyplot, we don't need to start typing all of the words that we see here. This alias means every time we need to use the plot, we just need to do plt.
Please, I'm begging you. Please, I'm desperate. I don't know what to do. Please subscribe.
Next, we are going to move into the first topic for this course, which is the line plot. What is a line plot? A line plot is basically the simplest form of plot where you plot some numbers against one another. And as we see here, I have created a list of numbers X and a list of numbers Y. And we are going to be plotting the values of each element in this X against each element in Y. So 1 against 10, 2 against 15. The plt.plot is actually one of the most important things when we are plotting a line. It takes in 2 arguments here, which is our X, a list of numbers, and our Y. After that, we use the plt.x label to label each axis of our plot. And we have the plt.y label to label our Y axis. And we also need to put a title to our plot, which is just a simple line plot. And after that, we do the plt.show. Without the plt.show, this is actually not going to show our plot. As you can see here, we have the simple plot. Here comes from the title of the plot. And we will see that we have the y-axis, which has been done from the y-label function, and the x-axis from the x-label function. A typical example, we will see that when x is 3, y is supposed to be 7. So let's trace that. This is x at 3, and y here is the value 7 when we trace that. So this is just a simple line plot between 2 variables, x and y. Now, this is also still a plot, which is a line plot, but in this case, I have created, remember that the plt.plot should start with the 2 variables that we are plotting against one another, which is the x and the y. In this case, I have made the y a value that has come from the sine value of x. So if you are familiar with cosine, sine, tangent, and all of that. But basically, I'm just creating another value for y using this numpy function. And if you're curious about what numpy is, it's basically a Python library that is used for mathematical operations with arrays. One other thing that I have introduced here is the color that I want the line to be. In this case, I have made the color red with a dash. We can actually use different kind of variables or different kind of symbols to plot this. Okay, that's because we have not run this line. So let's do that. We need to do many things. Import this. I'm commenting that line out because I've already installed Matplotlib, but you can do that if you don't have it installed already. Now let's try this again, and you can see that now it's a red line, but it's actually asterisk. If I put a dash, we see that it's just that thin line. And let's try with this symbol. you would see that it also looks like it's drawing this all through the point of the line. However, I'm just going to return it as R, and by default, it just takes the dash. One other thing is that sometimes to beautify our plot, we want to actually rotate the ticks, that is the labels of our x-axis and the y-axis. And this is the same code as the previous line, except that now I'm showing you a new function where you can rotate how you want the labels of your axis to be. In this case, you would see that now I have rotated it to be 45 degrees. And for y, I have done the same. Let's say for the x, I want to rotate it to 90 degrees. You can guess that this will be totally rotated. We'll see what that looks like. As you can see, it is all flipped. And when we change it back, it is rotated in 45 degrees. Sometimes this is just using beautification, and we would also see another scenario where rotating our axis would be harmful.
Please, 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 I'm begging you, please.